Hello everyone, very good morning. Welcome back to the Computer Fundamental online classes. So guys, in previous class what we discussed? In previous class we discussed about the syllabus, the how the university the made syllabus for you. Okay, how many units are the syllabus is divided into how many units? Okay, in unit 1 which content is there, which topics are there. In second unit up to fifth unit up to 15 we discussed in previous class. So now we are going to start the unit 1. Okay, so now we are going to start the unit 1. So in unit 1, the today we are going to discuss the topics. The topics are the first one, the introduction about computer. Okay, the first concept we are going to discuss the computer introduction. Okay, second one, a data processor, and next one, data processing. Fourth one, data, what is data? Okay, and fifth one, what is information? Okay, so what is information? These all things we are going to discuss today's class, right? So first one, the introduction about computer. What do you mean by introduction? What do you mean by computer? How it comes, and what do you mean by data processor? What do you mean by data processing? What is the diagram for the data processing? What is data? What is information? These all things we are to discuss today. Okay, let us start the introduction of computers. So what do you mean by computers? So suppose I'll tell you some examples. There is a person, he want to add two numbers. There is a person, okay, he want to add two numbers. But when you are adding two numbers, he takes some time for adding two numbers. Okay, two numbers. Okay, but he want to calculate these two numbers very fast. That time what he had to do, he calculate the two numbers using computers, via computers he want to do. So if you want to calculate two numbers using computers, how we are doing? So first he want to provide the two numbers. He want to give the two numbers like 10 and 20. Okay, these are two numbers I want to add. So using computer I want to add these like two numbers. I want to give to the computer. Okay, and using that computer, using that two numbers, computer can do addition like 10 plus 20 like this. And after that, what is the output here? You know already, the output is 30. Okay, here we can say these two numbers are the input provided by the user or given by the user, and this is called as a task. Which is done by the computer. It is processing inside the computer, and after that it produces the output like this, or result we can say, or we can say information. Okay, assume this is simple concept where I am telling the what is the computer. Okay, so when you provide these two numbers as a input or as a data, as a raw material, and takes as inputs and perform it as an addition and produce the result like this. Okay, so this is the concept of computer. Now we'll let us study the introduction of computer and data processor, data processing, data and information. Okay, let us start. Now, introduction about the computer. Okay, so what is computer? So according to some scientist or some other person, the computer is an electronic machine. What is the computer? The computer is an electronic machine because the which machine or which device is run on the current or start on the current or run on the current, that is called as electronic device or electronic machine. So you know already the computer is also run on the electronic current, right? So because this is also called as electronic device. Which machine, the any machine which machines start on the current or run on the current, those are called as electronic device. And so come to the computer. The computer can perform high speed operations at high speed. Okay, so because this is called as computer. So now the computer is an electronic device. It accept the data from the user and store it in memory and process it and produce the result. This is called as computer. So this is the definition. So see the definition here. So what is the definition here? The computer is an electronic device or machine, we can say. Okay, it accepts the data. It accepts the data and information from the user. Okay, who is provide the information to the computer? User has to provide the information to the computer, and after that to accept the data. And what it does after accepting the data, it store the data which are provided by the user in memory, computer memory. It may be in primary memory, it may be in secondary memory, and after that acquire the data from the memory and process it according to the instruction of the user. Okay, so what is the instruction? Addition of two number. That is our task I want to give to the computer. Okay, so that is a process and process it, that is addition of two number, that is process it, and after it gives the result to the user. Result means the output, you can say output. This is called as totally, we can say computer. Okay, so next the data process. What do you mean by data process, right? So data processes, a computer is also called as data processor. Okay, before this data processor we can discuss the computer. The word is a computer, right? See here you can see the computer. The computer is one of the one word that comes from the compute. The word compute, the computer word is comes from the word compute. That means to calculate. Okay, to calculate, that is called as computer. Here a computer is an electronic device, you know already, that can perform arithmetic operations or any operations at high speed. That is called as also computer. Okay, so also a computer is also known as a data processor. The data processor. What do you mean by data processor? The data processor can store the data, process it, and retrieve the data whenever we need it or whenever we desire. That is called as a data processor. Here there are two terms. One is data processor, one is data processing, we can say. So these two are a little different. Okay, when you saying data processor is like a computer. It can store the data which is provided by the user, and it can store the data, and according to instruction it can process it and retrieve the data after processing that produce a data, okay, or information that retrieve data whenever we need it, whenever we require, whenever we desire. That is called as the data processor. Okay, and here there is a one diagram that is called as the data processing. Okay, how the data is converting to the information. Here here data and information, there are two terms. Again, there are two terms. Before discussing data and information, just we have to observe data processing. What do you mean by data processing? This is a task which is running inside the computer. Okay, that is called as a data processing. Like activities, for example, what is activity? Addition of two number, subtraction, any logical operation, any arithmetic operation, those are called as the activity which is given by the user to the computer. Those activity of processing running inside the computer, that is called as the data processing. This is the data processing, that is the whatever we discussed previous, that is data processor. Okay, this is data processing. How it processes the data? First acquiring the data from the user, that is called as capturing the data, and manipulate it, that means process it, or adding it, like whatever your task, okay, according to instruction of the user. And after adding two numbers, that produce the output, or we can say result, that is called as the information after obtained by the processor, that is called as information. Okay, so here what do you mean by data? Up to here I am telling data. What do you mean by data? Data is a raw material used as input and information, like which data provided by the user, like numbers, alphabets, images, sounds, images, capturing the image from the camera. These all things are called as raw material. We can say these all the input for the computer. The computer can accept the inputs. How? In the form of the raw material, like numbers, like images, okay, anything, audio. These are called as the raw material, like data. Okay, so data is the raw material used as input, and information is processed data obtained as a output of data processing. This is the data processing. Now, the way you have to use the computer, that is called as application of computer. Okay, what is the application? What do you mean by application? The wherever you are using the computer, for example, where you have to use the computer in education sector, in education area you are using the computer, like college or school. Okay, in clerk section they are using the computers. Any admission they are taking the computers. There you have to use the computer. That is application, that is the use of the computer. And industries, you know already, industries they are using computer. Government, medicine, hospitals, scientific research, the scientists are also using the computers. Law section, music and arts, film industries, animation creation for your film. These all the fields where they are using the computers. These are called as the application of computers, right? These are the application of computers. Now tell me what you mean by computer. The computer is an electronic device or electronic machine which can accept the data from the user and store it in memory of the computer and process it and produce the desired output to the user, right? So this is called as the computer. And okay, so this is about today's class. Now tell me what you discussed in this class. So in this class we discussed about we discussed about the what you mean by computer, right? What you mean by computer? Okay. After that, the how it comes. Word is compute, right? Compute means that calculate the data or any information at high speed, that is called as computer. We discussed that one. This also definition we can say. And here there is a main thing, there are two terms, one is data processor, one is a data processing, right? So data processor also is called as computer. It can take the information and store it, process it, and retrieve the data whenever it decides. That is called as data processor. Keep in your mind, observe carefully. The data processor is different, data processing is different, right? And inside a data processor, we have data processing. Okay, data processing. The activity of processing the data using computer is called as a data processing. Okay, so assume here there is the example I am showing you, the data processing. Okay, like this. Here, this is the data. Okay, this is the data. When you accept the data from the user like this is the data. Okay, it is accepted by the user, and that is captured by the input devices like keyboard, camera, mic. Those are called as input devices to accept the data from the user. These are the input devices, and after capturing the data, what it does, it process the data or manipulate the data. Process the data or manipulate the data according to the user instruction. Now, what is the user instruction? Like addition of two number, subtraction, deletion, anything you can do. And after done the process, that task by the computer, that produce the result, final result, the how user wants. Okay, that is called as, we can say, information. The data is a raw material used as input on information that is obtained by the as output of the data process. And these are applications where we are using the computer. In education sector, we are using industries, government, medicine or hospital, in scientific research, law section, music and art section, film industry, and animation. You can use the computer. In this field, we are using the computers. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Okay, thank you. In next class, we are going to discuss the what are the features of computers. Okay, what are the features of computers? So data processing consists of three sub activity. You know already. Data processing consists of three activity. One is capturing the data and manipulating the data and managing the output result. This is called as three activity done by the data processing. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. In next class, we are going to discuss the features of the computer or characteristics of the computers. Okay. Thank you.